Contraception. In last video we have discussed the contraception, its method, what are the different methods of contraception. Today we will discuss what are the natural method of contraception. Means these are method without any OCP, without any contraceptive device. What are the natural method through which we can take contraception? It is an important topic. So what are the types of natural contraceptives? There are three types. The first one is rhythm method. Second one is coitus interruptus. And the third one is lactational amenorrhea. First come to the rhythm method. So what is rhythm method? This method is based on identification of fertile period of a cycle and to abstain or to avoid from sexual intercourse during that period. Rhythm method is of three types. The first one is calendar rhythm. The second one is temperature rhythm. And the third one is mucus rhythm. First come to the calendar rhythm. In this method, this method is based on identification of fertile period and to avoid sex or sexual intercourse during that period. Means to avoid the intercourse during some particular dates of your normal menstrual cycle. Ovulation occurs around 14th day of normal menstrual cycle. So the unsafe period is few days around the time of ovulation. The couple needs to avoid sexual intercourse during these unsafe period. If your cycle is normal, then the ovulation occurs around 14th day. The first day is the first day of menstrual bleed is called the first day of cycle. So the unsafe period is around 14th day. Few days before and few days after the time of ovulation. You can see here in this picture, here it is written start of periods, day 2. If the period is started on day 2 of a calendar, then ovulation occurs around 15th to 16th of this calendar. Start calculating 14th day from this date, from day 2, 2nd of any month. Just add 14 days around. So ovulation occurs around 15 to 16 day in this menstrual cycle. So the unsafe period is few days around the time of ovulation. If ovulation occur around this period, then few days before the time of ovulation and few days after the time of ovulation is unsafe period, and the rest of period is safe. It is safe. To use calendar method, one need to observe her menstrual cycle for 12 months. The first day of unsafe period is obtained by subtracting 20 days from the shortest cycle. First you have to observe your cycle for few months or around 12 months. Each month you have to observe that how much longer is your cycle is. Like if in first month your cycle is of 28 days, in second month it is of 22 days, in third month it might be of 30 days. Like this you have to observe your length of the cycle for 12 months. Now take out the shortest cycle, whatever you have shortest cycle, like you if you have got your shortest cycle of 24 days, then the first day of unsafe period is obtained by subtracting 20 days from your shortest cycle. If your shortest cycle is of 24 days, then subtract 20 from 24 days, then you will get the day 4. Okay, day 4 of your menstrual cycle is first day of unsafe period. The last day of unsafe period is obtained by subtracting 10 days from the longest cycle. Suppose if your longest cycle is of 30 days, then subtract 10 days from the 30 day, then you will get day 20. So day 20 is the last day of your unsafe period. So from here we get from day 4 to day 20 is your unsafe period, and you have to avoid sex during this period. So what is safe period? It is safe period is equal to longest cycle minus 10 days to shortest cycle minus 20 days. It is called safe period. Here you can see here it is the first day of menstruation, so it is the day 1 of your menstrual cycle. See, the red zone is defining the menstrual period. If day 1 is the menstrual period, then day 14 is your time of ovulation arbitrarily. Day 14 or 15 or 13, it is around this date. So you have to avoid sexual intercourse around the time of ovulation because it is a fertile period, and rest of time is the infertile period or safe period. Now come to temperature rhythm. Temperature rhythm, in it we will monitor body temperature, basal body temperature, to get the time of ovulation. So if we monitor our body temperature, then we will see that there is 0.5 degree rise in body temperature after ovulation. This rise in temperature persists throughout the cycle and drops just before the beginning of next cycle. The raised temperature drops just before the beginning of next cycle. By determining the basal body temperature, we can determine the time of ovulation and can avoid sex during fertile period. The rise in basal body temperature is due to the effect of ovarian hormone progesterone. Now, what is basal body temperature? Basal body temperature is your body temperature at rest, like when you get up when you first get up in the morning. mucus rhythm. Mucus rhythm. Here we will discuss the consistency of cervical mucus. Before ovulation, the cervical secretion is thin, watery and copious. But after ovulation, the cervical secretion becomes thick, scanty and tenacious. The physical, chemical and cellular component of cervical secretion are dependent on hormone estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen increases the water and electrolyte content with decrease in protein content. So the mucus becomes thin, copious and clear. While the progesterone decreases the water and electrolyte content with increase in protein content, make the mucus thin, scanty and tenacious. So if we monitor cervical secretion, when it is thin, watery and clear, it means ovulation hasn't occurred, and after ovulation the consistency of cervical mucus changed to the thick and viscid. So we can approximately say that ovulation has occurred and have to avoid intercourse during that time. Fawn test. What is fawn test? Fawn test refers to detection of a characteristic fawn-like pattern of vaginal secretion when a specimen is allowed to dry on a glass slide and viewed under a low microscope. Usually we say that fawning is lost after ovulation. If we see the cervical mucus under a microscope, it show a characteristic fawn pattern. Fawning occurs due to the presence of sodium chloride in the mucus under the estrogen effect. When high level of estrogen are present just before ovulation, the cervical mucus form the foam-like pattern due to crystallization of sodium chloride on mucus fiber. This fawning is lost after ovulation. You can see it is fawn pattern. In this picture, more clear, it is fawn pattern when it is cervical mucus is studied under microscope. But this fawning is lost after ovulation. What is spin bucket test? It is an elasticity test of cervical mucus. The cervical mucus is placed between the two glass slides. Due to high estrogen content at mid-cycle, the mucus withstands stretchability more than 10 cm. But after ovulation, due to presence of progesterone, the elastic property of mucus is lost. The mucus fracture when put under tension much earlier. You can see here how it is tested. This test is positive before ovulation, but after ovulation this mucus fractures much earlier. The length doesn't withstand more than 10 cm. It fractures much earlier. That's all. Thank you. Next we will discuss the further the natural contraceptive, the rest part which is left today. We will discuss it in next video. Thank you.